Bofa, these nuts.
No Bofa. No Bofa! No Bofa in my courtroom! Let's do this. It's time to get started. Welcome to the courthouse of Milo _ vtuber. Today, we have something very special planned for you guys. Are we voting whether Milo's a... This is gonna be a wonderful stream. No! We are voting if other people are gonna be assholes, and I am about to show you how. Today, what we're doing in Milo's court is we are gonna be reading Am I the Asshole stories together, and we are going to be deciding as a group whether the person in question is an asshole. I'm gonna read the story out loud with you guys. We'll get some initial thoughts, and then I'm gonna nominate, or you can volunteer to be the prosecution or the defense. You will be able to defend or lambast the person who posted the story, okay? And we need the truth here in Milo's court. Okay, we need the truth. Sir, we all have tools, is that okay? Speak for yourself, I patched mine. Patched is a crazy word for that. Although I suppose it has been leaking, hasn't it? Then again, you asked me not to talk about that, so. I have 1, 2, 3 total. I have read this one myself already. We're gonna be judging these stories together. Alrighty, guys. It is time to get started. We're gonna take a look at the very first one. Am I the asshole for refusing to change someone's baby's diaper? My wife and I have been married for 10+ years and have a few kids. Sister-in-law and her husband had a baby 2 years ago. No major complaints. They just tend to ask people to do stuff that I wouldn't think they'd do themselves. They'll come over to our house, they live an hour away, and they'll ask ahead of time if we have their kids' favorite crackers on hand. Why they don't pack the crackers, I don't know. They are well off, money is not an issue. If one of them leaves the room, they'll ask one of us, my wife or kids, to be in charge, quote unquote, of the baby. Even if the other parent is right there, just scrolling on their phone or something. But whenever I say something to my wife, she says I'm being too much. The other day, we're having dinner at mother-in-law's house when the baby had a poopy diaper. Sister-in-law looks at me and says, in the sweetest voice, "Uncle Milo, can you change the diaper?" She frequently does this when we're there, but this was the first time I was asked. I answered politely, "No, I'm sorry. I don't do that." "Change our diaper, Daddy Milo?" I thought this was a no-judgment zone. Sister-in-law replies, "You don't do diapers?" "No, I don't do other people's kids' diapers if their mom or dad is around. I mean, if I'm babysitting, sure thing. But yeah, if the parents are around, I just feel like it's their job." Sister-in-law looks like she's ready to cry and says, "Well, I feel selfish." I smile to try and set her at ease. Not trying to make you feel any way, just telling you a boundary. That's all. The table got really awkward as she got up and did the diaper. Afterwards, my wife blamed me for making sister-in-law feel bad and said I could have just changed the diaper. Not trying to make anyone feel bad, but I've had 3 kids and I always took responsibility. I watched them, I packed for them, and I changed them. I'm not looking to become a secondary parent for this kid. All right, guys, how are we feeling initially? It's her child, though. They are there as well. When you cry because someone else doesn't change your kid's diapers, you probably shouldn't be a parent. If you guys want to vote on whether the person, that is to say the poster who refused to change the diaper, is an asshole or not, you can do so by typing in 1 for not the asshole or 2 for the asshole. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Why is everyone slowly rotating? This is really funny. I did test this, which is the frustrating part. Wait, is it only respecting me? Excuse me? Wait, we found the issue! Oh my god, so that explains why it is counting my vote and none of y'all's. We have no power. Well, this is just the American court system, I'm afraid to tell you. That's just what it is. The bar is classes. I see exactly what the issue is. I have a check that says, if is streamer, then execute all this code. All right, one more time, please, guys. 1's for not the asshole, 2's for the asshole, please. Once more with feeling. 1, okay, it looks like it's working, sick. I'm gonna put in a 2 just to be contrarian. There's a 2. All right, sick, there we go. Nice. If anyone would like to be the prosecutor, which is to say, the person who is going to, like, attack and accuse them and say, you are the asshole, do !enter right now, please. We got Orion. Okay, and who is gonna be the defense? This is the person who will be saying that the person in question is not the asshole. All right, I am going to go ahead and just give the defense to Huge.
Wise Monkey once said, banana good.
Wise Monkey once said.
So just to make sure I gotta try and convince people that this man guilty,
Yep.
Dodger 3C.
You're like sitting in the air. Look at this. God, your quads are amazing.
And powerful.
Hot and powerful. Yeah.
My money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds. Are we ready now, oops?
We are ready now, oops. Okay, I would love to hear from the prosecution. Orion, what is your case? Why is he an asshole? Go.
Your most esteemed chromatic honor, it is obvious that this man, in all his fleshy unglory, is an asshole. A child, too young to have autonomy or know right from wrong, has done the nasty under this man's roof. Would you bemoan a guest for using your toilet? Obviously, you wouldn't.
I mean, okay. The question is, though, if the guest hits the toilet and then doesn't flush and makes a big mess, do you have to clean it up? We've all been in that position where we accidentally clog the toilet at the party and we're just like, ugh, what's the protocol here? That said, I don't know if I'd bemoan him. Gotta let the guest use the toilet.
A child, even if not yours, is your responsibility as a host. It therefore behooves you to do the diapers, like you would clean the toilet after someone else absolutely clogged someone else's toilet.
Oh, okay. You came prepared for this. Okay. Behooves you to do the diapers.
In conclusion, the man's an asshole, and under the penal code, I vote for the guillotine.
Well, this isn't a federal crime, no treason or anything here. I don't think we're looking at death penalty, but I will keep it in mind. Okay. What do you guys think? We're still thinking not the asshole? Okay. Ooh, couple of sides flipping. All right. Well, I think it's time to hear from the defense. The prosecutor makes a valid case. It's true. If someone else shits in your toilet, really, like, it has to be cleaned at some point. And you as the host are taking on certain extra responsibilities. So, I mean, why not you, right? A good guest would do what
Your
they can,
Honor,
right?
I've taken enough dumps to know what a turd looks like. She's a shitty person. She's afraid of seeing her own kind. This man is well within his rights to defend against, stinky. You wouldn't shit your pants and make me wipe for you, would you? Didn't think so.
Well, the thing is with you specifically, Huge, I might actually make you wipe. But that's more of a, like, we've got a special relationship, so...
Winky face.
A solid argument. Orion, any response to that?
Oh, we get to do responses too? Okay, see, the defense misses one point. A child, a mere babby, cannot control themselves.
It's true. Children are notoriously unable to control themselves. I think the defense is paying off the judge. Case should be tossed. Everyone gets the guillotine. Even me?
Diapers are a biological weapon. These things have been banned in several countries I will not mention for privacy reasons. Babies should be locked up with the mother. To compare a baby doing the crime in the diapers to a drunken man soiling themselves is absolutely an unfair comparison.
I think Orion's making some valid points, and I think just the fact that Orion is a maid right now probably is indicative that we should lend them some credence as far as like what it takes to clean stuff. Magnum Walrus says, baby is definitely the asshole by nature of being a baby. I wasn't paying attention, but death penalty.
That's right. As a maid, I have absolute expertise in diaperology.
So, Huge SS fan, the defense, claims that diapers are a biological weapon. These things have been banned. The prosecution is also the expert witness. I mean...
Did you know babies kill 500 men a year with their poo?
Wait, really? Now hold on, okay. If babies kill 500 men a year with their poo, I think then this man would be a hero if he changed the diaper.
Yes, but they haven't been banned in Japanifornia yet, so your claim is irrelevant to the case.
Well, strong cases made by both the prosecution and the defense. Jury, go ahead and cast your votes one more time if you wouldn't mind. We're leaning towards not the asshole. Any last second shifts? Death. You guys are really into the guillotine here, huh? All right. It looks like the court has decided, the jury has decided that this man, for refusing to change his sister-in-law's diaper, is not the asshole. All right. I think we're gonna go ahead and call it here. The jury is saying not the asshole. Thank you both so much, Orion, Huge. We have decided that the man is not the asshole.
I have something final to say.
I have something, okay. I suppose I'll allow it. One more thing.
Why is the first topic about poop when this is about assholes?
Well, Huge, the thing is...
It makes so much sense.
The thing is that you have won your case, but unfortunately, you know too much, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and just disbar you right now. Thank you so much for your service, Huge SS fan. We have determined that the man is not the asshole. I appreciate you and all your service. Orion, you have also done a fantastic job. Thank you for being here. You are also going to hell. Goodbye. All right. Successful first case, everyone. Successful first case. Thank you, guys. This has been an interesting stream so far. Any final thoughts from the jury? Ori was gamaged. Please explain. Prosecution did a great job. almost made me reconsider the guillotine. I thought the bigger area wins. Oh, no, it's just whatever. You know what? I could see why you'd be confused because you're so simple-minded, Magnus Staff. But whichever side the little, like, emote gets closer to is the side that wins. How about I end you right now? Bailiff! All right, this should be a funny one. Number 2. Am I the asshole for pranking my nieces? I have twin nieces, both age 6, who love to come feed and play with our chickens. We have 8 Easter egger hens, no ruse. Lately, they've taken to chasing the chickens around, which has made them a bit nervous around the girls and sometimes us. Last weekend, they came over and I noticed they were wearing flip-flops because it was warm out. So I had an idea. I took some of my wife's nail polish and painted their toenails to look like ladybugs. They loved it and went outside to see the chickens. A few minutes later, the screams I heard from the backyard made me realize that the hens loved it too, as they happily turned the tables on the twins and were chasing them around the grass, pecking at their feet. Fast forward a few minutes, and my wife's sister was yelling and moaning, saying now they would be terrified of chickens, which, to be honest, didn't really faze me much, or my wife for that matter. Neither girl was hurt in the slightest, and now they have a healthy respect for the speed and accuracy of a pecking hen. Now the sister-in-law is being difficult and keeps telling me and my wife that we owe her and the girls an apology. I told her to tell it to the chickens. So am I the asshole? Not the asshole, still kind of an ass. Let's get some initial thoughts from the jury here. To be fair, chickens can be very scary. Hilarious, in fact, yeah. Ooh, the jury's kind of split on this one. Oh, maybe not. He's the asshole. You should always be scared of chickens. To reiterate, what happened is he painted his niece's toenails to look like little ladybugs. The chickens started pecking at them because, you know, chickens eat bugs. And now his sister is demanding an apology. Is he the asshole? A funny asshole, but an asshole nonetheless. I'm gonna go ahead and, you know what? Since we have someone who has some firsthand experience with chickens here, I'm gonna say Huge. Would you like to be the prosecution or the defense? I want someone with some actual chicken experience. I'm on the attack here for fun. Okay. If anyone would like to be the defense for this case and argue that Mans is not the asshole, do exclamation point enter right now. All right. Looks like it's just gonna be Walrus. Oh, look, Walrus, you're a chef.
Meatball.
Very good opening argument. Okay. I mean, chickens are dangerous. Have you seen how often Link was killed by a chicken? Well, actually, that's a cuckoo, not a chicken. Different rabid species. Oh my goodness. It looks like Huge.
Hi.
Were you eating the meatballs that Walrus was just talking about? Well, with that said, welcome back to the jury, everyone. We have Huge SS this time on the attack and Magnum Walrus on the defense. Is this man the asshole for pranking his 2 nieces by making chickens attack their feet? Neither of them was hurt. Let's go ahead and hear from the prosecution first.
Do you know how dangerous chickens can be? I once saw one take down a fighter jet.
A fighter jet, you say? I mean, I suppose they're famous for taking down, like, airliners, right? But that's more just birds in general, right? Pigeons and stuff? So chickens can be quite dangerous. This is coming from an expert on chickens. How does a chicken take down a fighter jet, by the way?
With a slingshot.
Right.
Have you heard of Angry Birds? That game was based on a real story about a chicken.
Wow. I actually didn't know that. I thought it was more like an allegory for, like, you know, the plight of your average, like, police officer and how they're under attack all day. You know, we're always attacking the pigs, right?
I raise chickens, and I can tell you, they will peck bruises very easily.
Well, I mean, that implies that there has to already be a bruise there, right?
Children will get eaten.
Right. Okay, well, if you don't have any more arguments, then I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to the defense.
Your Honor, is it a crime to be funny? My client simply wished to give his devil nieces a fun lesson on how these adorable birds can, will, and even must fight back. My client is not the asshole, he is simply a funny uncle. Spaghetti.
Nice, succinct argument. That doesn't quite address the idea of chickens are manslaughtering creatures, though. But, I mean, the birds can, will, and even must fight back. Okay, let's check in with the jury. What are you guys thinking? Who's at fault here, really? Is it the chickens? Is it the man? Is it the nieces? Is it the sister?
Are you all okay with a man laughing at the screams of children and not offering a single apology?
I mean...
Children are all terrorists.
Walrus makes a good point. Children are terrorists. Chickens are just being birds. Well, I'm kind of on Walrus's side here.
Terrorists indeed. That's why he's an asshole for putting those chickens in danger.
Oh, hold on. Wait. Huge SS fan just blew this case wide open.
They may be bloodthirsty, but they are cute too.
Ravioli.
it seems like the defense is kind of relying on the fact that the jury's already on his side.
Ravioli sounds like a code word.
I mean, you weren't supposed to find that out, but it's not a code word for anything that has to do with this. Okay. Ravioli is an excellent closing remark. I think let's turn it back to the jury one more time.
I think the sauce is used in evil rituals of the cult.
Okay.
Your Honor, my client pleads insanity.
That's not an option. We've got asshole, not the asshole, or apparently guillotine. Insanity is not an option this time.
Listen, you can be funny and at least say sorry.
Yeah, but if I'm funny enough, then I'm never at fault. That's what comedy has taught me.
Sorry ruins all jokes. As an Italian, I know this.
In that case, I'm gonna ask for one final closing statement. Huge? You have one final thing to say.
Those kids might not have their toes anymore. You can vote now for justice.
In the post, they did say the kids weren't hurt. But I suppose setting that aside, any closing remarks from the defense?
In light of the child terrorists putting the chickens in danger, my client would plead his joke got away from him.
Oh.
His is dumb, but he is not a dumb asshole.
I suppose that's as close as we'll get to pleading insanity. All right, unless there's any last-second vote changes from the jury, 1 for not the asshole, 2 for the asshole, I think we're gonna rule it in favor of the defense. Jury says, not the asshole. Man is not the asshole for pranking his nieces. Thank you for your service. Once again...
Wait. No. Wait.
Baba Ganoush.
Stop listing Italian foods! Is baba ganoush an Italian food? It's still like a dessert, right? You're making me hungry. Huge, you have something to say before I obliterate you?
Gizpacho.
I blame Milo.
And with that said, thank you, Huge SS fan, for all your service. I appreciate everything you've done. Magnum Morris?
9/11 was an inside job.
Let's do one more case. This one's gonna be fun. This one I'm reading the title for, and I think it's gonna be a good time. Am I the asshole for not telling a man that the research he was mansplaining to me was my own? Ooh, this is gonna be crazy. I don't normally post on Reddit, so please forgive me if I do this wrong. I, 33 female, wait, no, she threw it all out the window. We don't believe women in this court, I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? Jury, try not to hold it against her, okay? Just, if you guys can, try not to hold it against her. 30s, she's already gone. I, 33 female, work in a very small, technical, specific, male-dominated field. I won't give too much information on it, as I think you could easily find my identity if I did, but let's just say it's a subcategory of law. Uh-oh, wait, hold on. I'm not gonna be in this story, am I? I graduated 9 years ago. For anyone wondering, the system in my country is different than the US, so I only studied for 5 years, and am now a lawyer as well as a researcher. I published some work here and there, but nothing too major, and no one outside my field knows my work. Yesterday, I went to a bar with a couple of friends who introduced me to one of their friends who works in the same field as me. I was pretty excited to meet him because it's rare to meet people who work in that field. He doesn't exactly do the same thing I do. He's not a lawyer, but a legal advisor, but we work on the same topics. So naturally, we started talking about our work. At one point, we were discussing a point on which we had differing opinions, so I explained mine to him, and he replied by saying that my opinion was based on nothing, while his was based on the work of a professional, you guessed it, me. Holy shit. You could just, honestly, you could mic drop it there and just stop the post there. But there's more. He basically started explaining my work to me, but in a completely wrong way, and missed all of my points. I asked him if he was sure that that was what the author meant, and he said he was because it was quote-unquote pretty simple, actually. Yikes. For another good 20 minutes, he explained all of it to me in details, like I was a first-year law student. I didn't say anything because it was pretty funny to watch him say things that were completely wrong with so much confidence. Bro really is failing upwards. We love to see it. We love to see it. After that, topic changed and the night went on. But at the end of the night, right before leaving, I decided to tell him that I was actually the person that wrote the work he had quoted and that he didn't really understand it. He reacted very badly and got angry, and he told me that I had manipulated him to humiliate him. Whoa. Whoa! Bro's riding back on emotions. He yelled at me for not saying that it was my work in the beginning. I simply replied that he had embarrassed himself and left. I woke up this morning to text from my friends saying I was wrong for causing drama and tension and that I could have been nicer to their friend. I'm not sure if I'm in the wrong there. I mean, yes, I could have told him right away. Is it that big of a deal if I didn't? I'm not exactly sure. Am I the asshole? This is crazy. First of all, what are the odds of this happening? Holy shit. She meets up with some friends, meets someone new in a similar field. They start arguing about something that they disagree on, and all of a sudden, he starts quoting her own work to her. I think that's the main argument, right? Is that she kind of hid her identity for a bit and let him dig his own hole. So is she an asshole for doing that? Should she have told him right away? Jury, I vote a rare asshole but not at fault. Also, we got some new jurors! Pirate, mummy, judge, businessman. This guy in the bottom left here is probably the guy that we're talking about. Wait, we have a cop in the jury. Naked man, judge, pirate, cop, and crypto bro. This might be the worst jury. You make a decent point, honestly. If he had actually been familiar with the work, he would have recognized her name when she was introduced. Ooh. People often use fake names for their books. Ooh. Especially women! He dug his own grave, should have actually done his research instead of trying to look better than his peers. Okay, go ahead and do exclamation point enter right now if you would like to attack her. I would love to do this exact thing. Out of context clip number 1. I put my woman lawyer in attack position. Wonderful. I'm gonna let Walrus handle the attack. As for the defense, literally anyone. I believe in you guys. You don't need a law degree. This seems like a pretty open and shut case as far as I'm concerned. I'll do it. I'll do it. Orion's excited, okay? Orion's excited. Well, in that case, we have Magnum Walrus, who appears to be a bum, all right? We have acquired the prosecution off the street, apparently. And then we have the defense, Orion, who is a pirate. Yarg, I guess. Alrighty. Well, with that said, I would love to hear opening arguments from the prosecution. Walrus, what do you have to say?
Your Honor, who among us has never misinterpreted media? This old clearly planned to embarrass this man as soon as he took an opposing view. The defendant had any chance in the world to let him know he was making an ass of himself. Lastly, she is a woman and 30, almost done.
Now, are you saying almost done as a reference to the fact that you have more to type, or almost done as in 30 is, you know, she should just hang it up? She's almost done.
She's got 5 years left at best.
Jesus Christ. To all 4 of my female viewers, I apologize for the prosecution. The prosecution claims that the old clearly planned to embarrass this man as soon as he took an opposing view. The defense, Orion, what do you have to say in response?
Yara, most pristine chromatic honor. Might I say your globe looks mighty bright and precious today.
Well,
as for my arguments, I merely need to point out that me client be no bilge rat nor a landlubber looking to stir the pot. This blackguard colleague took her own words, twisted him like a kraken's tentacles, and tried to use him to sink her argument. When me client corrected him, with truth sharper than a saberfish, he embarrassed himself by being wrong. Not her fault he walked the intellectual plank by his own choice. I don't think I've ever seen a man be wrong. It is such a rare occurrence that this, almost the age of Jesus, defendant wanted to jump on it the moment such a rare thing happened.
Okay.
She was blinded by such an opportunity and let it turn her down the path of asshole.
You know what? You're making good points, Walrus. It was like a twinkling gold doubloon that she saw, and she literally couldn't help but pick it up to lay the trap and let him walk into it. Orion, any final responses before we turn it over to the jury?
If you would allow me, I have a final remark after the defense's rebuttal. I am afraid that men do be wrong often. Me first mate tried to mutiny twice. If that's not him being wrong, then I don't know what is.
Well, I mean, I'd mutiny you in an instant, honestly, Orion. But that's neither here nor there. Although it is at the plank, which I will make you walk one day. Well, Walrus, I think that was Orion's rebuttal, is that men are wrong. Thoughts?
Your Honor, I'm stealing your shiny head and pawning it immediately after this case.
Okay. It's not shiny right now. I have a full head of hair, thank you.
Please let me win. I have bribed you appropriately.
Right. Let the sluggard walk the plank. What the f*** is a sluggard? That sounds like a slur. Jury, any... It seems pretty unanimous. Any,
Well, I can't argue with that, Your Honor. The prosecution do be bribing ye.
Okay.
As a gamer, I have many thoughts on woman. A bribe must be honored.
Any closing remarks from the prosecution, from Magnum Walrus, that have nothing to do with gender or age, please and thank you?
Taking all my weapons of attack from me. Just take my gun away while you're at it.
Well, this is America. So, wait, do you have a gun in the courtroom? Hold on. Bailiff! 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 All right, yeah, this man has a gun, and... All right.
As a pirate, I have even less experience with women than an average gamer, being on me build ship all the time. So, yeah, shoots Bailiff.
Both the prosecution and the defense have a gun. Bailiff, get his ass! All right, I'm afraid that despite the fact that the jury seems to be overwhelmingly in favor of not the asshole, I'm gonna have to just throw this entire case out because both the prosecution and the defense threatened me with a gun. Defense has a musket pistol at best. It could still pierce my goddamn heart.